And joining me live from the WION newsroom is Kanishka Sarkar, who will break down the big business stories shaping your money and the economy. We are being joined by Nikita Singh as well to get us all the updates from the world of technology, and Vidur Kathuria, who will take us to all the action from the world of sports. We begin first up with Kanishka for all the business updates.
Thanks, Amiksha. Lots happening. Global markets are tracking cues from corporate earnings, China's economic data, and Europe's growing energy crisis. Now, let's start with the markets first. In US stock futures, they are pointing higher after Nvidia delivered a strong set of numbers overnight. Nvidia shares rose more than 4% in pre-market trading, and the chip makers' quarterly revenue more than doubled from a year earlier. It has also given a strong revenue outlook. Meanwhile, in Asia, markets are mixed. South Korea led gains. The Kospi nearly saw a rise of 2%. Japan's Nikkei and Topix, they also edged higher. But Australia's ASX 200, that fell almost 1%. Investors are also watching the Federal Reserve's Jackson Hole Symposium for clues on US interest rates later today. Now, in India, on the other hand, markets are under pressure. The Sensex fell about 260 points, while the Nifty slipped below the 24,150 mark because of selling in FMCG and auto stocks. The Nifty FMCG index that fell more than 0.5%, while the auto index lost about 0.4%. Now, global weakness and geopolitical uncertainty, they've kept investors cautious. So while strong Nvidia results are lifting parts of global markets, Indian equities, they remain cautious as of now. Shifting focus now to China, where industrial sector is showing signs of losing momentum. Industrial profits, they rose about 11.2% in July from a year earlier. That was the slowest growth rate seen so far this year. And for the first 7 months, profits were up about 17.6%. But that is down from 18.7% growth that was seen in the first half. AI and chip making, they remain the key bright spots. Profits in the integrated circuit industry, they rose about 18.5% in the first 7 months of the year. But weaker property and infrastructure activity, that is hurting sentiment for the traditional industries. Consumer-focused sectors, they're also struggling as of now. And now let's talk about Europe, which is looking ahead to a potentially expensive winter. Gas storage across the European Union is at around 63%, and that's about 18 percentage points below the 5-year average for this time of the year. Disrupted LNG supplies from the West Asian region as they are adding to the pressure. Europe is also competing with Asia for limited LNG cargoes. Analysts warn that gas prices could climb to 90 to 120 euros or about $117 per megawatt hour if the winter supplies remain tight. So a cold winter could mean higher energy bills. And in a worst-case scenario, Europe could even face curbs on industrial gas use. So all eyes remain on the global economic and energy outlook. And that's about it from business. For tech updates, let's go over to Nikita.
Well, thanks so much, Kanishka. First up, Apple is set to host its next launch event on September 9th, where the company is expected to unveil its newest iPhone series and potentially its long-awaited foldable phone. The first foldable iPhone is expected to be a crucial landmark for Apple, with analysts saying that the high-end devices would be the main driver of higher selling prices and margin growth for the company. Now, the launch would also mark incoming Apple CEO John Ternus's first major event. Ternus, Apple's longtime hardware chief, is set to take the helm at the company on September 1st as Tim Cook transitions to the role of executive chairman. Next up, German companies are increasingly being targeted by cyber attacks that they suspect are linked to foreign intelligence services, according to a study by Digital Industry Association Bitkom. Now, more than 1 in 3 companies hit by cyber attacks, or 37%, said they had attributed at least one incident in the past 12 months to a foreign intelligence service. Now, that was up from 28% a year earlier and more than 5 times the 7% recorded in 2023. China and Russia were the main suspected sources, with 52% of affected companies linking at least one attack to China and 49% to Russia, where 9% pointed to Iran. And lastly, Bill Gates is looking to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping later this year, eager to propose global efforts to mitigate the growing risks posed by artificial intelligence. Now, the Microsoft co-founder and billionaire philanthropist said that he believes China might agree to restricting potentially dangerous AI model releases if the US took initiative on that first. Gates also said he'd like to propose that countries monitor AI's ability to create molecules and carry out biological attacks if something that would not get in the way of any tech industry's development. Well, that's it from the world of tech. Now, my colleague Vidur will be taking you through some sports updates across the globe. Over to you, Vidur.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Let's start from the world of football. Kylian Mbappe stole the show at the Santiago Bernabeu. The France captain scored a hat-trick to hand Real Madrid a 4-1 win over Real Sociedad. It was Jose Mourinho's first home game back in charge, and Madrid made it 2 wins from 2 under him. Mbappe opened the scoring before the break and struck twice after the interval. Vinicius Jr. also was on the score sheet, with 2 assists from Jude Bellingham as well. It's Mbappe's 6th hat-trick for Real Madrid and his first in La Liga since May 2025. In tennis, Stanislas Wawrinka has been handed a wildcard entry into the US Open men's singles draw after several days of outcry from fans over his exclusion. The 2016 US Open champion was left off the initial list of wildcard entries in his farewell season, reigniting debate over the wildcard process at the major events. The spot opened up after a player withdrew with an injury. Wawrinka has already played the Australian Open, the French Open and Wimbledon this year on wildcard entries. He said he's incredibly excited to accept the wildcard for the 2026 US Open and looks forward to competing in front of fans in New York once again. It will be the final Grand Slam of his career. And finally, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed young athletes and youth leaders virtually as part of the Khelo India dialogue on National Sports Day. The address was structured around 5 themes: sport, Olympic aspirations, leadership, Viksit Bharat, and drug-free youth in India. The program was held across more than 1,500 educational institutions. Discussions also covered talent identification and long-term athlete development ahead of the 2036 Olympics bid. The event follows the Union Cabinet's approval of a 36,441 crore expansion of the Khelo India scheme earlier this month. That's it from the world of sport for now. It's back to you, Samiksha.
Thank you, Vidur, Kanishka and Nikita for all those updates. That's all we have in this edition of our broadcast.